It's been a whirlwind to start the Big Ten volleyball season already with upsets and dominance and everything in between. I'm Emily Ehman here for Big Ten Network, joined by Minnesota senior All-American Libero CC McGraw to talk about their upcoming game against Wisconsin this weekend in this Gopher team. CC, thank you so much for joining me.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You know, your Gopher team is really heating up already. You guys had one of the toughest non-conference schedules in the entire country, and then you open up conference play with two dominant wins, now have won your last 6 games, including 2 against top 15 teams. What's been your biggest takeaway from this team after the first few weeks of play?
Yeah, so we definitely had one of the tougher preseason schedules, I'd say. So it was good for us to be able to be pushed as a team and kind of tried to, figure out different ways to get over those uncomfortable moments in matches. So I think we had a lot of, good takeaways from our losses early on in the season. And we definitely, got to work in the gym and in practice to try to clean up some of those little things because, our coach always says there are no little things. So in the Big Ten, it comes down to a point or two. So you got to be ahead of it with that. So I don't know. I think after this first weekend of Big Tens, I think we were overall just playing good Gopher volleyball, and that's all you can do. So we want to continue to just keep that momentum, playing together as a team. I think we gel really well together, and we want to just continue to battle.
Well, you're gearing up for one of the most highly anticipated games of the season coming up early this year with the border battle against number 5 Wisconsin on Friday night. You guys head to one of the toughest places to play in the country, the Fieldhouse in Madison. What kind of emotions come up when you think about this rivalry in this game?
Yeah, I mean, the border battle is always a fun match to look forward to. So I think whatever atmosphere and environment you're in, we want to just focus on bringing our own energy and continue to just lean into each other. And even when things get hard and we get pushed, continuing to, just play good over time and I don't know, have fun with it. I mean, it's like another opportunity to compete against a fantastic opponent. So yeah, I think we're all really excited.
It feels like this season feels so different because the environments in the arena are so much more intense. You have fans back, and a lot of the younger players haven't really been in those environments yet because of last year with COVID. What have the conversations been like with those younger players to prepare them for moments like this?
Yeah, it's definitely a transition from this past season. I think our first couple home matches, it was kind of an eye-opener for our freshmen or sophomores, I guess, because they had never played in front of a home crowd or in front of a crowd at all. So I think, in those moments as an upperclassman and someone who's had experience playing in front of a lot of people, just continuing to remind them to, just play their game, keep it simple, and, have fun with it because it is a great opportunity. And so I think going into this weekend and getting to play in the Fieldhouse, kind of just using that energy in the atmosphere and in that gym to kind of help us and motivate us and push us to be better.
With such a big game coming up, what is your team specifically doing in practice, dialing in on this week to prepare for this game?
Yeah, I mean, for most matches in the Big Ten, it all comes down to serve and pass. So continuing to build some layers with that and try to be more consistent and serve receive. And we're definitely going to have to put some pressure on the service line to try to knock Wisconsin out of system and try to get them there. So I think those have probably been our biggest focuses. And I think other than that, that's usually what it comes down to, and continuing to scrap in the gym so that can translate over into matches. So just being mindful on defense and trying to read the right things in that area of the game.
Always coming down to serve and pass there.
Yeah.
With so many players returning this year, it seems like this season has the toughest competition we've seen in a long time. And that's helped your gym out a lot, having Big Ten Player of the Year, Samedy back. What impact has that had on your gym with her return?
Oh, that was just the best news ever to have her for another year. I think we all look up to her. She's not only a great leader and a great competitor, but she's just an awesome teammate. So having her in the gym and it's almost like you're having another coach on the court just because she's like helping people out, telling people where they need to be, all these different things. And so kind of allowing that to fuel us as a team is huge. And obviously she brings her leadership, but she brings all of her volleyball skills, and she just is such a stud. So I think having her in the gym, getting to compete in the gym with her, I think makes us a better team. Obviously you don't come across a lot of Steph Samedys, so getting to, try to dig around the block and dig her makes you a better athlete, makes you a better volleyball player. So it's huge for us.
Yeah, with all that offensive firepower coming back, it's definitely seemed like it's upped your defensive game. Your team is the top in the Big Ten right now in digs per set, and you're leading that charge for them. You're the only Big Ten player with a 30 dig night, and you've already had 2 of them this season. So I want to know, in the off season and to start off this season, how much attention have you and the team paid to upping the defensive effort?
Yeah, we definitely focus a lot on different reading drills and making sure we're seeing the right things. Our coaches talk to us a lot about being simple on defense and, trying to just be stopped and ready to move in all directions. And I think that's been huge for me, especially this season. Not only that, but huge props to our block. I think when they're squaring over and they're doing their job, it makes my life a lot easier. So I think that's been a huge factor as well. So yeah, I think in those games too, I think some of those scrappy plays can make a huge difference and kind of a huge momentum shift for us. So I'm just trying to do whatever I can to kind of get our team going and fire them up. And obviously making those plays allows other people to make those plays as well. And it just is a spiral effect. So it's good.
Yeah, that defense feeds into that offense, and you're having a great year so far. Coming off of last year, you started the first 11 games and then missed the rest due to injury. Describe the feeling this season when you took the court in a game for the first time.
It was definitely exciting. I think in those moments, I had to just take a moment to recognize how far I had come to kind of get back to where I am. It wasn't easy mentally and physically. So I think there's a lot to be grateful for. I mean, getting to play in front of a home crowd and have fans again, and just to get to put on the Gopher jersey for another year is just such an incredible thing. And I have a lot of people to thank for that. I think my teammates have been so supportive, and our coaching staff has been amazing. So I think we're all just having a blast getting to have somewhat of a normal season. So we're just excited to compete.
To finish up here, I've seen some liberos across the country talking about hitters who literally numb their arms when they hit the ball. So at this point in your career, I kind of want to know, which players can you think of who just leave your arms in so much pain after you dig them? Obviously, I think you have one of those in your gym, but across the country, who are the first players that come to mind?
There's a lot. There's some good ones. Okay, Steph, obviously. I think in practices you kind of just get used to it, but yeah, that's definitely the usual. And she's got a lot of tricks up her sleeves as well. And not only does she bring a lot of firepower, but she's pretty tricky with her shots, so that makes me a more disciplined defender as well. As for opponents, I mean, the Big Ten is stacked with some big hitters who are just absolute studs. I mean, you think about Dana Redke on the slide and stuff like that. Those are the moments where you kind of just got to take it and hope for the best, stand and dig. That's all you can do. As well as, other pins from different conferences, such as Danny Drews. She's just got such a heavy arm, especially as a lefty on the pin. I mean, you don't see that very often. So, yeah, I think across the board, though, there's a lot of talent in the NCAA this year. So it's awesome.
A lot of talent coming back. You said sometimes, you get used to that feeling when Steph hits your arms, but I don't think you ever get used to it. So kudos to you.
No.
Kudos to you for that one. CC, thank you so much for joining me. Good luck this weekend and for the rest of the season.
Awesome. Thank you so much.